Hey there, I'm Elizabeth Scott, and this is my first ever blog for Reader Girls. I'm very excited to be the author in residence, and just thank you so much for the honor. And what I'm going to be doing is answering questions. I put out a call on my blog, just wondering what people wanted to know, and I picked 15 questions, and so I'm going to go ahead and answer them. Alright, the first question was about my workspace. This is it. I don't have an office or anything like that. I would love to have an office. I don't know if you guys have seen the pictures of Sarah Dessen's office or Lawyer House Anderson's office, which I think both of them are actually in separate buildings, which, wow, that's the dream. But for right now, this is my office, this computer. I also have an Alpha Smart, which is this tiny little, it's like a 1 pound word processor, and it doesn't have any internet capability or anything on it, and it weighs a pound, and all you can do is type on it, and I write actually all my first drafts on that, because it's super light, I can take it anywhere, and there's nothing to distract me. I also have this, my laptop, and that is where I do revisions, and it does technically have internet capability, but I completely disabled it, because I find that when you're writing, it's very easy to get distracted, like, oh, I'll just check my email, and then before you know it, an hour's passed. So when I'm writing, I don't go online, period. And then obviously there's this computer, which I use for, polishing up drafts, before I send them out to people, and for work stuff, my website, Twitter, Facebook, all that other stuff. So there you have it. There's my workspace. And basically I do most of my writing on the sofa right over there with the dog. But yeah, so there you have it. There's my workspace. I know it seems a little dark, and it actually, it's just because of the lighting, but it's not really that dark. So I don't want you to think I work in a basement somewhere or whatever. Okay, the next question. Writing rituals. I actually was going to say, no, I don't have any. And I thought, wait a minute, I actually do have one. And here it is. Hold on a second. Alright, I don't know if you can see these or not. My pants. Yeah. It got started, I guess, when I first started being able to write home. My job, I started writing when I was working, and my job switched from being 5 days a week to 4 days a week. So 1 day a week, I could stay home and write, which was awesome. I wrote short stories all day. And the thing is, I always wore my super comfy black pants. And then as time passed, I started calling them my writing pants, because I would notice that on weekends when I would get ready to write, I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna go put on my comfy pants. So they became my writing pants, and I actually still have my very first pair of writing pants from back in 1999, when I was all 27. And I still have them, and I still wear them once in a while, but because I feel like they bring me good luck, because they were the first pair of pants I wore when I realized, oh, hey, I can sit and write all day, and I'm super happy. Too bad I can't, do it for a living. And little did I know that I would end up doing that. But yeah, so I always wear comfortable black pants. They have to be super comfortable, and they have to be black. Those are my conditions to write in. So I guess that's the process, which I assume means how do I write? And I actually have a visual aid for this one. Here is how I write. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, that's all the stuff, all the drafts. There's note cards. Wow, more note cards. And loads of pages that look like this. Can you see that? Yeah, that's my writing process. If I have research materials, like books or whatever, they all get kept together with the folders. as you can see, I go through a lot. I even write on the folders and everything. But yeah, that's my process, and it's not really super glamorous or anything, but it works. For me anyway, it does. And I do, and I know it's kind of old-fashioned, and a lot of people keep everything on the computer, but I like writing stuff down on note cards, and I like having the note cards, and I have like those little yellow notepads, and I write stuff down on those also. And then the other thing is just drafts and drafts and drafts and drafts. I write a lot of drafts. So that's my writing process. It could happen, because before I was just like, yeah, no, it's not gonna happen, but it did, and I'm like super happy it did. And yeah, being a full-time writer, it's the best job I've ever had. I totally love it. Just yay. Number 7 was about reviews. The best reviews. Well, obviously, any good review is a best review as far as I'm concerned. I especially like reviews. The reviewer is like super excited about the book and says why they like the book. Like that, just wow. That just means a lot to me. It's like when people send me emails about, and they're like, oh, I'm sorry to bother you. I'm like, you're not bothering me. You took time to tell me how much you like my writing. That's like the best thing ever. I love that. And then the worst review. There is, obviously I've gotten my share of bad reviews. But there's only been one review I ever got that made me cry. It was written by another author, and the author had read the book, and didn't like it, which is totally fine. Living Dead Girl's not a book for everybody, that's for sure. But the author went on to say that they were glad that their local bookstore wasn't carrying it, and that they didn't feel anyone ever should read the book. And that, I'm getting a little emotional just thinking about it. I was like, but you're a writer, and you're advocating censorship. You're advocating that no one should read my book ever because you don't like it. And that broke my heart. I cried when I read that review, because like, it just, to have another writer come out and say that, basically your book is like so awful that no one should read it, that basically it should be censored, that hurt a lot. That was the worst. A lot of my books do all have loss in them. Even like Something Maybe, which is like my lightest book, Candy is still grieving over the loss of her husband. And I wish there was a simple answer for that, like that there was something in my past, but there's not. I had like completely normal childhood thing, and the only person I've ever like been really close to who's died is my grandfather, and he was like 99. So I don't know. I guess there's a line in Perfect You, I think, where the grandmother, I forget her name, says to the main character, Kate, if bad things didn't happen, how would you feel the good things? I think it's the grandmother that says that. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. But I do know she says that. And that, I guess, it really struck home when I wrote that, because when bad things, they happen, and they're awful, and they're painful, but I think they're necessary, because it makes the good things that much sweeter. But yeah, whoever asked that question, thank you. It gave me a lot to think about, and, well, all the questions were great, and just thank you all